it here with number 11, which is kind of a word problem. It's given to you in words, but it's not really like a word problem. All right, so number 11 says regular pentagon. Regular pentagon has a perimeter of 100 meters. What is the area of that pentagon? Well, here's what I would do. I would draw a picture of a pentagon. And I can't draw a regular pentagon, but that's okay, right? Because we just need to label it regular. So there's my pentagon. And we're going to say it's regular, even though it doesn't look regular. That's fine. So it says the perimeter is 100. Well, if it's regular, all the sides are the same. So I'm going to take 100 divided by 5. So each side is 20. Okay? 20. Well, then I know that to find area, I need to draw in a right triangle, right? And so I need to know this angle. And I know that I split this side in half, so that's 10. To find that angle, I'm going to take 360 divided by 5, which would give me 72, double check here, which gives me 72. But then I need to divide that by 2 because that's for this whole big pie slice, which gives me 36. So this angle up top here is 36 degrees. Right? Then I need to know my apothem, which is this perpendicular that I put in. Well, 36 isn't a 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 90, so I only know one other side, so I have to use SOHCAHTOA. So because I know the opposite, so let's switch colors here so you can see it. So I know this side's the opposite from 36, and the apothem happens to be the adjacent. I'm going to use tangent. So I'm going to have tangent of 36 equals the opposite, which is 10, over the adjacent, which is A. That's what I'm looking for. Remember, we put this over when we cross multiply. So I get A times tangent of 36 equals 10. To get A by itself, I would need to divide by tangent of 36 on both sides. That cancels out. I get A equals. Now remember, if you're doing this in your calculator, what I would do is I would do 36 tangent. And then I would put that in your memory if you have not a great calculator. And then I would do 10 divided by that answer, which is 13.764. Let's go. And I would always write this out to 3 decimals because you're not done. And actually, you should write it down so I know if that's where you went wrong. But I do not want you to take it out of your calculator because you can leave it in there and that's how you get the accurate answer. So now my area is equal to 1/2 my apothem times my perimeter, which would be 1/2 times this 13.764 number that should still be in your calculator, times my perimeter, which it told me was 100. So now you should still have that 13 number in your calculator. Just take it times 100 divided by 2 equals. And rounding to the nearest tenth, I get 688.2. 0.2, and my unit should be meters squared. Okay. Again, if you have questions on that, just make a note of it, and you can ask me on Tuesday. Otherwise, definitely you should be tracking Mrs. Schmidt down, and she can definitely help you out too. All right, let's look at 12 through 15. Now flip my page here. 12 through 15 says, stuck. Says find the indicated measure. Round answers to the nearest tenth. So in this case, we're looking for the length of arc AB. So remember, this is going to make use of that proportion, this whole section. And your X is going to be in different spots, but it's the same proportion. So you have your length of your arc over over circumference equals measure of your arc over 360, right? That's our proportion. And a reminder that circumference is equal to 2 pi r. All right, so that's the formulas you need for this whole section. Again, your x is going to be in different places, but the solving part remains the same. So I'm looking for, so I'm going to set it up here. So I'm looking for length of the arc, so that's my x in this case. My circumference is 2 pi r, so that's going to be or pi d, right? So in this case, it gives me diameter is 13. So I'm going to have 13 pi on the bottom. Right? The measure of arc AB here is 80 degrees. So that goes up here. Over 360 degrees because that's the whole circle. Then I cross multiply, so I get 360x equals 80 times 13. And again, I'm going to leave pi till the very end. So I have 1040 pi. Then to get x by itself, I divide by 360. Those cancel, so I get x equals, so now you're going to do 1040 times pi, and then divide by 360. And your answer to the nearest tenth should be 9.1. Okay? Again, on your test, you're gonna have one that's length, one that's circumference, one that's radius, actually two that are length, one circumference and one radius. So that x changes spots, but the process remains the same. All right, again, if you have questions, make sure you're asking Mrs. Schmidt or making a note and asking me on Tuesday when I will be back. All right, then we're gonna jump in, we're gonna do 16 and 17 on this video, and then we'll wrap up this video here and I'll do another one. So 16 and 17, it says the equation of a circle is given. Find the circumference of the circle. Write the circumference in terms of pi. Right, so reading directions is really going to be crucial. So circumference, remember, is 2 pi r. Okay? If you don't remember from our circle lesson, this side, or our circle chapter, this side is equal to r squared. So finding r, so I don't even care about the rest of this. This is all irrelevant. Hopefully I spelled that right. Otherwise, if not, that's why I teach math. Right, so that's all irrelevant. All I care about is this side. And that's equal to r squared. So, but I just want r, so I need to square root that. So plugging in then, I'd have 2 times pi times the square root of 12. Well, you know what I'm going to say. The square root of 12 breaks down, so you got to break it down. So it's 2 and 6, 2 and 3. So I got a pair of 2's. So that becomes 2 square root of 3. Well, then I can do 2 times 2. So that's 4. My square root of 3 gets attached. And then I got pi attached. And that's how it wants my answer. 4 square root of 3 pi. All right, make sure when you're writing it that you write neatly and that pi does not end up under that square root symbol. If pi ends up under the square root symbol, you will lose a point because that is not correct. All right, again, if you have questions, either make a note and ask me Tuesday. Otherwise, if it's a big question, you should probably be tracking down Mrs. Schmidt and asking her today or Monday. Okay, with that, we'll wrap up this video, and I will post another one for the next set of questions.